Welcome to the Villain Insight podcast. I'm your host Shree. Today we are excited to welcome Ivan Vislavskiy, who has dedicated nearly 2 decades to helping businesses thrive in the digital age. With deep expertise in crafting immersive online experiences for business and startups, designing innovative mobile solutions, and driving impactful online strategies, consistently driving growth for his clients. He's the CEO and co-founder of Comrade, a digital marketing company that has helped many businesses achieve their digital identity. Today, he will be sharing his journey and the intricacies of the digital landscape, which you can leverage for your business or your brand, especially in this era of AI. So without further ado, let's welcome Ivan Vislavskiy to the show. So welcome, Ivan. Welcome to the Billion Insight podcast. How are you?
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining us today. It's our pleasure too. So, Ivan, can we start from the beginning? Let's start with your childhood.
Sure. Well, I was born and raised in Russia, actually the coldest part of Russia, which is Siberia.
Okay.
So I've seen it all. Let's put it this way. At the age of 19, I immigrated to the US. I lived in various states, various cities throughout the US, and I'm currently residing in Florida. I've spent most of my tenure in Chicago, Illinois. It was an amazing time for me joining Florida.
I know your surname suggests that you might have a Russian heritage, but I didn't know that you born in Russia.
Yeah, it's my last name. It's actually a funny story. My last name is Polish, and I am half Russian, half Ukrainian, and a little bit of Polish as well. So there's a long story to my last name and to my family root.
That's interesting. So you were born and raised in Russia up until 19 years. So how was like your upbringing in Russia?
You know, it was fun. It was entertaining. I can't really complain. You know, if anyone would ask me, hey, are you happy that you spent 19 years of your life in Russia growing up as you did? Or would you change any of that? And I would say absolutely not. I think it was part of my journey. This is what, brought me here. This is what brought me to this point of my life, to the success that I'm having right now. And I'm very much excited about it, very much happy about it. So I would never change a thing from my past. All in all, obviously I had some moments, some bad moments, some great moments, some okay moments, but even the bad moments taught me something that, was very valuable and that helped me in my development, in my journey.
That's interesting. So we all have our good moments and bad moments. So yeah.
The nature of who we are, right? As human beings.
yeah, that precisely make us human. So while researching about our podcast, I came across that you did your computer science engineering.
Right.
Yeah. So how did you first become interested in engineering?
Well, when I was about to graduate from high school, I had a few choices to make, and I didn't really know who I wanted to be. But I definitely had an entrepreneurial spirit. Ever since the age of 14, I started working. And in few of those opportunities, I worked for myself. It was, there were a few interesting ideas that I started out with my friends, that were sort of running on a side and so on. But what ultimately I recognized is going to be very much needed in the future was the technology and the IT component. The computers were becoming essential. Everyone had a mobile phone. There was a lot of breakthrough in that particular industry. So I definitely thought that, by graduating with computer science and technology degree would allow me to open a lot of doors. And that's how ultimately I, came to a decision that this is who I'm going to be.
So man, if I'm not mistaken, you're in late 30s or early 40s?
Yes, you're correct. I'm 38 at the moment.
Okay. Do you remember when you first saw computer for first time?
Oh boy, I was probably age of 14. This was many years ago, 24 years ago to be exact. Probably. That's when I saw a computer wait. I probably saw a computer even before that in the computer class. But they were not accessible, and those were different computers, right? You couldn't do much with those computers. They were like a very outdated box, that had specific pre-programmed tools or, programs that we could use to, do certain things. But there were no games or you couldn't do, you couldn't create much of content using those computers, obviously. But at the age of 14, I believe I saw my first personal computer at my friend's home, and I was just fascinated by the opportunity and by what you could do with that thing.
Yeah. So you must be grown up in Russia in 90s, right? Late 80s, early 90s.
Well, let's assume 90s, because late 80s I was
Yeah, you were small. Yep.
Yeah.
So can you draw a picture? How was the Russia in 90s?
Yeah. So Russia was going through some hard times.
Yeah.
Back in 90s.
During the USSR broke down. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. USSR broke down. We had a change of regime. That created its own opportunities, and that created its own issues. A lot of crime, definitely huge instability, but also some opportunities. Luckily, I was still young. I recognize it, but I know that an older generation, some of them did not make it for various reasons. Due to crime or due to high amount of alcohol abuse or drug abuse and so on. So it was pretty rough time, I think, back in the 90s. But luckily, I escaped it, being young and so on. I was sort of always, covered, always behind my parents that took care of me. That was
yeah.
I didn't really notice anything myself.
Have you went to America? I mean, with your whole family, or?
No, I went by myself. I went to study, and that was my journey. So I didn't have a family. I didn't have anyone. The entire idea was that I would study here, and then I would make up my mind if I would want to go back, or if there will be an opportunity for me to stay here and do something meaningful. Ever since I was a kid, I watched a lot of Hollywood movies, and been growing up in Russia, things have been quite different from the Western world, right? And Western movies and Hollywood movies, it would be there were a lot of amazing houses. Remember Home Alone movie?
Yeah.
With that insane castle, right? That little kid had.
Yeah.
So when I watched that movie, obviously it was something of a dream that I had ever since I was a kid, because you watch it and you realize that there are a lot bigger opportunities if you grow up in America. Like, you can have a house like that, you can have an amazing car like that, and so on. And I lived in a tiny little apartment.
Yep.
I had a lot of love, but I couldn't foresee a future like that back then, in Russia.
America has the soft power through Hollywood.
Yeah, and they say American dream a lot, right? Like, they use this term a lot, and I certainly lived up to that dream, and I've been through that journey, and it was an amazing journey for me.
Yep. So here in the Billion Insight podcast, our motto has always been to break things into easily digestible insights, or making our content accessible to everyone, With that in mind, I would like to ask you some rudimentary question about digital marketing and web development.
Fire away.
So can you start by explaining what digital marketing is?
Right. Digital marketing is a form of marketing, right? Marketing, what is marketing? Marketing is attracting potential clients or potential customers to your business, right? And you can do it through various means. There's a traditional way of marketing, which is the radio, which is TV ads, newspaper ads, billboards, radio ads, and so on. And lately, as we've seen emergence and development of technology, specifically internet, we've obviously became all users of Google, and Google has been a huge part of how we find answers to whatever questions we have. So digital marketing is a marketing method, but specifically in using digital tools, such as search engine optimization, such as paid search, such as paid media, paid PR, and so on, social media, email marketing, and so on.
Yeah. So how does it different from the traditional media, especially today?
Well, it's, traditional media still plays a huge role in any business success. It depends on your journey, and it depends on your business. It depends on the size of your business, and so on. Digital marketing is just a lot more accessible, meaning that it's less expensive, and usually you can see an ROI of digital marketing in a very precise way, as opposed to a traditional media. For instance, try to analyze and understand how much ROI, return on investment, a radio ad will generate, or a TV ad will generate. Yes, you have some means to measure that, but it's a lot less precise than digital marketing campaigns that you can measure very much precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I also want to add on top of it is we've seen a rapid growth ever since COVID hit us. Traditional business and traditional way of doing sales and marketing has transformed big time, right? Because ever since we couldn't face each other,
Yeah.
in person, we couldn't visit each other and so on. We had to rely more and more on digital tools. So digital marketing became even more essential for businesses. It has been essential, but now it's like you cannot live without digital marketing. You
Yeah.
cannot survive and grow your business.
COVID made us realize that how important as a digital medium is. That's for sure.
Mhm.
What is the biggest mistake businesses make in digital marketing?
Businesses make a lot of mistakes. Can't really say if it's a biggest mistake, but definitely what comes to mind is a couple of things. Number one, not understanding target audience, not understanding their pain points, not understanding how to make that bridge between your client's pain points and the product or service that you sell, not using digital marketing tools properly. In some case, if you do it yourself, then you might not be aware of all the capabilities of best case scenario or best case use case of how to use specific tools. For instance, giving you an idea, anyone can run ads, right? Digital ads.
Yeah.
Any business owner can figure it out and can run ads themselves and so on. But their return on investment is going to be minimal because they have very little exposure and very little experience, as opposed to a marketing agency that has been doing this for many, many years, for many, many clients, and has seen various mistakes, has learned on various campaigns and so on. Marketing agency is just going to crush any business owner doing it himself or herself.
Yep.
Those things come to mind, but obviously there are a lot more.
Yep. You mentioned the target audience, which is so crucial. So how can somebody will understand who is their target audience is? Let's say I will start a company today. So how to analyze or how to decide that who is my target audience?
Sure. Well, you start by asking yourself, okay, what do I sell? Do I sell a service or a product? In this case, let's pick one, product or a service.
Product.
Okay, let's say we're selling a product, right? Let's say it's a very specific product. You have to figure out, okay, who is willing to buy this product and why are they willing to buy it? What pain points are they experiencing so that they need this product? Let's imagine a specific product. Let's imagine, I don't know, whatever, cosmetic products, right? There's various reasons why people buy cosmetic products. So first of all, you have to identify, okay, who are all the types of audiences that are willing to buy this product? You list them out. And you list out what are the reasons that they buy this product? What are the most common reasons, right? And then you list it out. And then I would go into why would they buy my product as opposed to someone else's product? Is my product more unique? Is it cheaper? Is it better quality? Or maybe I have, some additional add-ons, in this product that are, that my competitors don't have. And you write that down. And then doing this, you will quickly realize, okay, I'm serving this particular group of people. They have this specific problems. And this is how my product is helping them solve those problems.
Yep. That is definitely, it's completely depend which type of product you are making. Once you figure out which product you are making, then you have to figure out then who would the end customer of this product. So man, I would like to ask you one practical question here. Let's say I'm a founder of a product-based company, as we discussed little earlier. So I have developed a tech product, or maybe let's say clothing line or a packaged goods. Okay, so that I can sell it through Amazon or Flipkart. In India, Flipkart is one of the big players. So
yeah.
Once my product is ready, once everything is ready, okay, what are the steps I should follow in order to make my presence in a digital medium? Can you outline a digital marketing blueprint to help me establish a strong online presence and drive sales?
Sure. So let's say you own an apparel company, right? You sell clothing,
yeah.
You sell shirts, whatever else, right? And you've been doing this through Flipkart. Let's say you already have some sales, you already understand who buys this product, in what volume and so on.
Yeah.
Now, let's say you're interested in building up your online presence because outside of Amazon or Flipkart, no one knows about you, right? Like no one knows about your apparel line. So the first thing that you need to do is create a marketing plan. Without a plan, you shouldn't be executing on anything. But marketing plan It consists of a number of activities. Number one, who is your target audience? Why are they buying your product? Or your competitors? What kind of products are they selling? And you need to do analysis. Why are you better or why are you worse than your competitors? It's called SWOT analysis, right? Strength, weakness, opportunity, threat.
Yeah.
You analyze all of that and then you determine, okay, I definitely know that I need to target this very specific audience. Let's say men in their 30s or 20s in this specific geographical area that like technology or that like music or whatever, sports, for instance. I don't know what kind of apparel you sell. Let's stick with sports, for instance, right? Let's say you sell sport apparel.
Yeah.
You know your specific target audience. Wonderful. This is a key component to your digital marketing strategy. Knowing the audience opens up a lot of additional questions and choices to make. Number one, you have to figure out how is your target audience makes decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they shopping for your product currently? And how and when are they making a decision to buy your product? That will open up the next level of thinking, which is, okay, we realize that your target audience needs your sports apparel mostly at the time of sports season, for instance, right? Which starts anytime from October, let's say August, and goes all the way till October, right? So we have to prepare for that. We have to obviously build a website, an incredible website that explains clearly what you sell, why your products are better than your competitors, what is your pricing methodology, how much you sell it for, and so on. What's your delivery terms, in terms of how many days it will take you to deliver a product, return policy, the quality of the product, reviews, right, and so on, like all the important parts to make your website convert, any of the audience that you're going to send to your website. The website nowadays is crucial for digital marketing because that is your salesperson. Previously, imagine you had a store, you had a sales clerk, or you had a salesperson that was, sitting there in the store. Someone would come to the salesperson, they would have a conversation. Now the website does it instead of your salesperson. So you have to equip it all the proper information, with all the proper answers, with all the proper details, and so on, right? Mm. So once you have a website, next thing to figure out is what are the tactics or strategies I'm going to use to drive traffic to my website. Mm-hmm. That's also a part of the marketing plan, right? But there are a number of tools that you can use, number of channels. You can use search engine optimization. You can use paid search. You can use social media marketing. You can use affiliate marketing. You can use ads on TV and so on. And that could be both part of traditional marketing and digital marketing. Yeah. So you can use email marketing, so on. So because you're just starting up, I would assume that you don't have much money to invest in marketing, right? You bootstrapping this thing. Yep. You have very limited cash available for promotion. That's why you cannot launch all the things at once. You're just not going to be able to succeed, in all of those things. Yeah. So what I would advise you to do is create a simple table where you list out all the channels and grade them based on how quickly I can launch the channel, how much money each channel is going to cost me, and the return on investment from each channel based on my expertise or based on someone else's expertise. Since you're just starting this business out, you don't have much experience in digital marketing. Yep. I certainly advise you to talk to someone that understands this world, that has done this in the past, so they can help you do this exercise more properly, because you can make a lot of mistakes by making a lot of assumptions, right? So once you put this document down and you analyze that specific channels, let's say you identified that Google ads and Facebook ads and email marketing are the three tools that we can deploy currently. That's it. Like, we only have budget for those three things. Yep. Then you create a very detailed plan for each, starting with what is my goal for each of the channels? How many clients am I trying to get? And then what do I need to do? What is my plan to get, to achieve this goal? So you write this down. Again, you most likely need help, marketing expert. Don't just rely on ChatGPT. Don't just try, chatting with ChatGPT and asking, hey, how would I do email marketing? Give me the steps, because you'll get a very generic answer, and that's not going to get you anywhere. Yep. And once you have a plan, you execute on it. you or someone else in your organization, or maybe you hire a contractor that will execute on it.
Yep.
I highly recommend using specialists. If you don't have experience running marketing yourself, go hire believable people. Go to places like Upwork or Fiverr or whatever, and look up people with the highest rating that have been doing this specific tactic for a very, very long time. And ask them a lot of questions, like, interview them.
Yeah.
Tell them specifically, look, I have a goal of driving this many sales. How would you do it? Are you comfortable you can do it? How much budget do you need for it? Have you done it for others? Show me examples. Show me case studies. Well, then go out and see those people, hire them, and have them execute it for you. And that's for the beginning. And once you see the initial success, then you can ramp up. Obviously there will be mistakes along the way. You're going to lose a bunch of money because every business goes through it. There's no other way.
That's a fantastic answer, Ivan. Time is around 11 p.m. But the energy which is flowing through you made me energetic. I can really sense the energy is coming from you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very much passionate about marketing, and I can speak forever about it. So that's why. That's why there's a energy.
Yeah, you are a born marketer, right?
Maybe not born, but I definitely, once I got myself into IT world and I saw what marketing can do, it definitely fascinated me, and I started thinking in the marketing terms. But now being an executive of a digital marketing agency, unfortunately, I can't do marketing myself anymore. Like, I have a team that does it for me, but I'm still very much passionate.
Yep. So you have told many interesting point here. So what do you suggest? Initially, should I opt for, let's say, any e-commerce like Amazon or Flipkart or any e-commerce, or should I opt for maintain my own website, maybe through Shopify and all? Which ones should I consider in the beginning?
So in the early days, if you just starting out and you're not sure how well your product is going to do, you have to complete what we call a product fit exercise. What is product fit exercise? Well, you have a hypothesis, right? That someone wants your product, but you don't know for sure if someone is going to buy them.
Yeah.
You don't know for sure if they're going to buy them for the specific amount of money that you're willing to sell it.
Yeah.
You have an idea that there's a specific target audience that's willing to buy it, but you're not sure if actually they would want it or not. So the product fit exercise is essentially testing out early enough your product within various target audiences and either proving or disproving your hypothesis. And I would certainly recommend doing it via already established channels, such as Amazon or Flipkart, or maybe running a very specific, very Facebook campaign with their marketplace, within their marketplace, and so on. I would do this before setting up your website. Here's the reason why. When you're just starting out, you don't know a lot of the things that you would once you run those initial experiments, once you start selling your product. Once you have the initial data, you may have to pivot. You may have to develop a slightly different product line. Maybe people don't want it. Maybe people don't like the red color of your product or blue color or whatever, right? Like, maybe you have to adapt your product. And if you built a website already and you have this gigantic asset, which is amazing, but it might not be necessary at this point because your product is not wantable. No one wants to buy your product. So test it out first. Ensure that you have a data that supports your claim, supports your hypothesis, and only then invest in things like your e-commerce website or promotional materials such as SEO and so on and so on.
Yep. That's an interesting perspective, I would say. That will be definitely helpful for many people. You mentioned SEO. So could you explain what SEO is and why it is crucial in digital marketing?
Absolutely. So SEO stands for search engine optimization, which is a process of improving a website so it ranks higher on search engines like Google or Bing, or it used to be Yahoo and a few others, right? What it does in the simple terms, we as users, if we don't know something, we turn to Google for answers, right? For instance, if we're looking for, let's say if my roof in my house is leaking, and I would go to Google and I would look for a roofing company, fix my roof, right? In the previous days, I would call up my friends and my colleagues and everyone I know in my community, and I would ask, hey, who's a good roofer? Do you know anyone? And so on. Nowadays, the user behavior has changed dramatically. People use Google a lot more often to find a vendor, especially for services
Yeah.
and products as well. So SEO, in other terms, is making sure that your company is visible on Google when someone is searching for your product or service.
Yeah. Since we are talking about the SEO, you know what's happening nowadays, the generative AI stuff and all. So let's address the elephant on the room. So what do you think, how relevant SEO would be in the future? Because many new search engines coming out of blue, Perplexity, which is completely relying on the AI. And recently we have seen that OpenAI also introduced some sort of search engine. So what do you think, how relevant would be the SEO in the down the line?
I think the user behavior is not going to change, right? We're going to go to tools like Google, like Bing, like Search GPT or Perplexity, and so on for answers, because that's how we used to do things. We need tools to find information. And what SEO does, it's not necessarily optimizing for Google. I think we as marketers have to adapt, and we have to think in more broader terms. How do we adapt content so it's going to be recognizable not only by Google, but by Search GPT, by Perplexity, by other AI search engines that would come out? Because any of the AI generated or AI search engines, they still use the same data. They still index and scan, the entirety of the internet. Internet has been the data pool where they get in the information from. So the same principles apply. As long as you follow, best use cases on how to optimize your website and how to optimize your presence, not only Google, but Search GPT, Perplexity will analyze and will capture your content and will show in their search results. So I think SEO is still going to be very much relevant. I think it just, the form of it is going to change, right? Like we have to adapt and we have to think above and beyond Google.
Yep. I mean, people are doing all the time. They modify their SEO things based on the algorithm of the Google, because their algorithm is changing time to time. To rank your product better, you have to modify your SEO in a way so that Google can crawl your website in top of the search. So you are saying that the same thing will be happen in the search arena in the AI field, but you have to crack that in a way so that your result will be displayed by the Search GPT or Perplexity.
We already seen, and we experiment a lot with AI. We've already seen that Perplexity and Search GPT, well, we don't know what Search GPT is going to look like, but we already see what ChatGPT is using for the data analysis, right? And they use the same information. We already see that if we rank high for specific terms, to give you an example of roofing company that we've been talking about, if you Google roofing company near me, there's a specific set of activities that you need to do in order to optimize your website to rank for this specific keyword, right?
Yep.
Now, if you search for something like roofing company near my location in ChatGPT, ChatGPT would use the same set of data.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a little bit more outdated set of data because they have not caught up to Google standards yet. They don't have such a updated data set yet. But essentially, you're going to get very much similar response with similar recommendations. This is what we've seen so far.
Yep. What do you think? What would be the future of the digital marketing?
I think digital marketing is still going to play a crucial role. It's not going to go anywhere. As a company, if you're starting out, you still need help of digital marketers, whether it's an agency or contractor or a freelancer or whatever, an expert, let's put it this way, to help you present you in the proper way and build your an online visibility that would let you be seen in places like Google or Perplexity or Search GPT. So I think our job is not going anywhere, with the emergence of AI. I think we just have to adapt AI, and many marketers have been doing that, right? Using AI as sort of a co-pilot, if you will, a helper, an assistant, help you do things faster, better, to automate some of the rudimentary tasks and repetitive tasks and so on. But I don't think it's going anywhere. Digital marketing is still going to be crucial because people are still going to follow the same user journey.
Yep. Maybe the way you are doing this, it would be changed. As you said earlier, that the way you handle the SEO for the Google, that might be little different for Perplexity. But ultimately, you're doing the same thing.
We'll have to adapt. There's
The
no
adaptability
reason,
is the key.
no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Right. So we have to, there's a lot of experimentation, especially if you're early adapter, right? Like, and we consider ourselves as an early adapter agency. We always, like, with all those new technologies, we're already experimenting with them. We're already trying to understand how it's going to impact our clients and impact our process and performance. So it could be, if you're an early adapter, then you're going to do a lot of experimentation. Many other agencies, I mean, they'll just wait until there are going to be guides and video guides and textual guides about how to SEO optimize for Search GPT or how to SEO optimize for Perplexity. And this will happen, in a year, maybe 2 years down the road, but there will be all kinds of guides and, specific, showcases and guidelines on how to do this properly. But we're not sitting on sidelines. We are innovators. Our agency specifically, we're as early adapters, we're constantly working on it, constantly experimenting, constantly trying new things.
Using the cutting edge technology.
Correct.
So, man, talking about the experiences and adaptability, you have been to this industry for like nearly 2 decades. So what do you think the biggest change you have seen over the years as compared to when you begin in this digital marketing space?
So digital marketing became a lot harder than it used to be. As an industry, I think it's definitely harder to promote a business nowadays as it used to be. When we just started out, it was less competitive. There were a lot of opportunities to grow businesses with very few activities. And we were successful getting our clients to be ranking on the SEO within a couple months. This was our know-how, and we were so fascinated and so excited about it. But ever since, there have been more and more players, more and more companies that, make digital marketing as part of their crucial, business development strategy. More and more players coming in. It became more and more challenging to, run successful campaigns that are, that have amazing return on investment. And this is what we've seen, that we have to constantly adapt. We have to constantly learn. We have to constantly experiment. We have to be ahead of the game in order to deliver amazing results for our clients. It's a lot more difficult. It's not as easy as it used to be. Barrier of entry, I think, is a lot harder nowadays for any marketing, expert that wants to start their own agency. It just becomes harder and harder.
As you said that it is easy to enter, not that easy to survive here in this industry.
Exactly. And ever since COVID, just everyone wants to be online. Everyone wants to compete. Everyone wants to be number 1 or number 2 or number 3. So, and there are only a few spots in that number, 1 through 3 spot. You have to constantly compete. You have to out-compete others. And that's why it costs more. You need to invest bigger budgets. You have to do more activities. You have to be smarter than others. It is a little bit challenging in our space right now.
So Ivan, I would like to ask you, would you like to give any tips for people who already built their website, running their e-commerce in this digital space? So is there any tips to improve their website conversion rate?
Absolutely. 2 things, or maybe even more than 2. Number 1, you have to have amazing content. With the emergence of AI, it's so easy to generate content with ChatGPT or whatever tools that have right now. There are over 100 tools that help you build content nowadays. So there's just plenty of content. But when it's produced with the help of ChatGPT, it's just so generic. It's not personalized whatsoever. So my recommendation would be this. Focus once again on pain points of your customers. Why do they need your product? Why are they buying it? And address it in the best possible way. Write it with your own words. You can use ChatGPT, but feed your information. Personalize it as much as possible. Explain how your company or your product or your service can help solve their needs or solve their problem. That's number 1. Right. Number 2, focus on reputation. Reputation, I think, is a key here, right? Like, how do you choose from 5 or 10 different companies or from 5 or 10 different products on Amazon or Flipkart, for instance? You look at the star rating. You look at the reviews. So focus on the quality of your product or service. Because if it's that, then you're going to have a lot of client turnover. Clients are just would not want to buy your product because, why would they? They would go to your competitor that has a much higher rating. So invest in that for sure. And, there are a few other things, which is figure out what differentiates you from your competition and be laser focused about that. Like, for instance, we as a marketing agency, we pride ourselves to be one of the best agencies when it comes to delivering return on investment for our clients. Like, this is our number one goal. So everywhere on our website, on our LinkedIn profiles, in our emails, in our training, we try to push for this one idea: ROI, 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 ROI. So whatever that been for your product or service company, make sure you explain it to your customers that this is what differentiates you from others. That's my tip.
Yep. That's great advice. So TLDR would be like, be honest with you and your customer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. It's crucial too. You can't sustain a business built on lies.
Yep. So man, I just want to share an interesting thing. Some other day I got an email. It is like a collaboration. It's like an ad. Okay, I have to put an ad or something like that. So the interesting thing is the thing which he requested, I don't agree with them. So I completely rejected his offer. But earlier he shared the Instagram and his social media handles. It was like a 10K, 20K subscriber followers. He was then okay. And then he again tried to follow up my why I rejected. Will I still be considered if he will pay me more or something like that? Okay. So then again I rechecked. Suddenly the social media numbers went 10,000 to, 500,000 within some week only. So it is clear that he must have used some shady way to increase their followers. Okay. So it will looks like he is a completely genuine company and all. What do you think? I mean, do you think this is a common practice? I mean, many people fall to this trap. I mean, many people are, in order to show that how popular they are, sometimes they opt for the illegal route, not the illegal route, but this shady route, the bot followers and all.
Yeah, of course. There are a lot of companies that buy, boats, buy views, buy subscribers and so on. But it's not sustainable. Once again, it all depends on it really depends on what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
If your goal is to build great company, sustainable company that's going to live for many, many years, and maybe you're going to sell it one day or whatever, maybe you're going to turn it into a lifestyle business. You can't do that. Like, those shortcuts are going to bite you in, one spot. They're not going to get you any, maybe you're going to have an immediate result, but eventually it's going to bombard you and it's going to actually get you to trouble, right? And you can lose a lot more.
Yeah.
So I would certainly not recommend doing any of those shade tactics. Unfortunately, however, many of the business owners, they're just not aware. They can hire an expert, Fiverr or Upwork or any of those websites, and believe the expert because they look believable. And without proper experience, they can be persuaded to follow one of those shady tactics, and that happens, and that's really bad. So definitely watch out for those. I would look for at least multiple opinions. I would, if someone suggests you something, maybe seek out second opinion and ask, hey, does this look legit? Like, it raises my concerns that overnight you can deliver, a couple million subscribers. What do you think of that?
Yep. No offense to any industry, but I have seen many people, I mean, in this digital marketing space, they project themselves in a way that if you hire us, we will make sure that you will get this much of subscriber or followers in your social profile. So it's compared to the one who do this organically, like yours. If a novice client, he can go into this trap, right? See, the person X can deliver like millions of subscribers in months. Whereas the other one is saying that organically it will take you years to get the 1 million subscriber,
Yeah.
In that particular situation, the client would be preferred the one who will get him the quick result. Unfortunately.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you can get an overnight success. If someone tells you, look, it's gonna take you years to get to this specific result or goal, and someone else tells you, oh no, I'll get you there within a month, then
Yeah.
I would be very cautious. I'd be like, what is this guy, doing? What kind of tactics is he
Yeah.
using?
What kind of sorcery he's doing?
Yeah, are they going to get me in trouble? Because imagine this, you could have an amazing business. You could have you could have everything working on your website and so on and so on.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you follow this guy and you agree with the with this guy to do some shady activities, and it can backfire big
Yep.
time,
Yep.
and it can even bankrupt your business.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So I would be very cautious, and I would rather go with slow and steady. They say slow and steady wins the race, as opposed to something shady and something very untrusted and
Yep, yep, yep.
untried.
This is happened with my friend who lives in Canada. One of his account, somebody reached to him that he says that you will get this number of subscriber if you pay this, and for the demo I will give it for free. So he gave it some couple of thousand subscriber for free in order to impress the client. I mean, I have seen many people are doing this in the name of digital marketing. They represent themselves as a expert on this field, as if they're doing this all with the organic and all the SEO thing which they're doing, but in the under the hood they are only doing the bots. With the bots they are buying those bots, I don't know where, but I don't know why some Meta or Twitter or this company are not able to crack down those. Despite all those bans, still they are popping out of nowhere.
I would always ask whoever you talk to, whichever expert, I would always ask them this one question: how's this going to help me drive more business?
Yeah.
And can you show me examples? Can you show me case studies where you did this for another business
Yeah.
and their business has improved, not from the number of subscribers or from any of those vanity metrics? No one cares about subscribers. What I care about as a business owner is, hey, is this going to make me extra money or no?
Yeah.
Am I going to see increase in my sales? Show me.
No.
If you have,
Yeah.
if you sound believable, show me where you were able to do it for the businesses.
Yeah.
Maybe then I'll have that conversation.
Yep. 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 The one word you said, that reputation, the credibility, that is the only thing which matters in nowadays.
Very important. Yeah.
Yep. 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 So it is definitely very difficult for one who is not that much tech savvy, to navigate this complexity. Sometimes they get scammed, as you told earlier that you can get scammed easily with a Fiverr and freelancer.com.
Yeah.
So we have to be cautious. So what is the one tips you like to give to the client who are currently seeking on this digital marketer? What is the criteria they have to ask to the digital marketer in order to check their credibility, their reputation?
Yeah. Number one, I would start with independent research. I would check their website. I would check reviews. I would read those reviews from multiple sources, and I would verify that those people are legit. Number two, I would ask, show me case studies of similar businesses and how you generated results for them. Number three, I would ask for references. Hey, who can I speak with? Or better yet, and some of our clients actually did it to us, I would literally, based on those case studies that this digital marketer would provide, I'd literally go out and ask those people that provided the case studies. I'd ask them, hey, have you worked with this company? How was it like to work with them? Did they actually deliver or not? Because anyone can lie. Anyone can produce beautiful case studies with amazing numbers and results and so on. It could be all just
using ChatGPT. Yeah.
Right. Using ChatGPT or whatever. So check it out. Definitely, reach out to past clients, reach out to people that have left reviews, verify that they're in fact legit, verify that they would vouch for the marketer, that you seeking to hire.
Yeah.
And ensure that it's all legit. That would be my advice.
Yep. So that's why you told it is very difficult for one who started out in this day in digital marketing field. There's a very difficult, because for the starting they do not have any reference point. That is very difficult.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't. So you have to be, if you're just starting out in this digital marketing space, what I would do, I would be extremely honest. And to my first client, I would tell him, look, I know a lot about digital marketing. Unfortunately, I don't have many clients, but I'm willing to grind. So I'm going to charge you only 50% of what I would normally charge, or what other company would normally charge. And I would show you the result. I would prove to you that I'm worth it. On top of it, I would work with you on month-to-month commitment. If you don't like my work, fire me because I deserve to be fired. And that's how I would build up my reputation, on grind, on transparency, and on honesty.
Yeah. That's an excellent advice, man. Thanks for sharing that. So we are on the final segment of our podcast, Ivan, which is called Instant Insights. I will ask you some quick question. You have to answer as fast as you can.
All right, let's try it.
Okay, so are you ready?
I am ready. Let's go.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Beach or mountain?
Oh no. Skip. Is this an option?
Okay. City or countryside?
City.
Blue or green?
Blue. 100%.
Most used app on your phone?
Google Calendar.
Early bird or night owl?
In between.
Introvert or extrovert?
Mostly extrovert. Sometimes I like to be by myself.
What is your go-to stress relief method?
Spend time with kids. Play with them. Tell them some story. Spend time with family.
Best way to spend weekend?
Travel somewhere. New place.
Define yourself in one line.
Curious. Excited. Energetic. Go-getter. Forward thinking. And optimistic. Opportunistic too.
One thing you wish you knew when you were younger?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think curiosity, if I was told that, look, you have to dig deeper, just ask as many questions and just be curious about new things. Yep. I think it would get me further on.
Travel back in time or forward in time?
Back in time.
Is there any specific era you want to visit?
Yes. Ancient Rome, sometime about maybe 1 BC, 2 BC, or maybe like 1 AC, 2 AC. That's my favorite part of the history.
Interesting. If you could have any dinner guest, dead or alive, who would it be?
Any guest that I can speak with, or
living or dead?
Living or dead. Tony Shady, an owner of Zappos, ex-CEO of Zappos. Unfortunately, he died a couple of years ago.
Zappos?
Yeah. Zappos as a company, they sell shoes here in the US. He built an amazing business, grew to a size of $1 billion, sold it to Amazon. Super successful, super amazing when it comes to culture. So he wrote a book called Delivering Happiness, and it's an incredible book. He's an incredible guy.
Is this one, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
Okay. Interesting. So you want to talk to its founder?
Yeah, Tony Shea, who unfortunately died. Yeah.
Since your company name is Comrade, I have an interesting question for you. If you had to choose between communism and democracy, which one would you like to pick for your dinner party?
Oh, shoot. Oh, man. I would actually choose people that are not sided, people that are agnostic, political agnostic, or party agnostic. Because I think I'll have a much better conversation with them as opposed to people that are very much into a specific ideology.
Okay, so why you named your company Comrade?
Yeah, it's a very interesting story. Officially, our company name is CF Style Incorporated. Don't ask me why. It was a decision that was made a long time ago with my business partner. We were sort of on the spot and had to come up with a name very quickly. And then we had one of the employees that joined us, and he was like, "Guys, CF Style just doesn't rhyme it. Like, doesn't make sense. I mean, if you let's say if a prospect is talking to 5 agencies and on the table they would have 5 proposals and one of them is from CF Style Incorporated, they're like, nah, put it in the trash. You have to stand out. You have to have something that would be different, that would stand out, and they'll be like, wow, who are those guys? Who are those clowns? PR is always good, whether it's a good or bad thing, but it's always, publicity is always good for you, right? For your
Yeah,
reputation.
yeah.
And so thinking about the name, and then this same gentleman, he came back and he goes, why don't we choose a company name called Comrade? I'm like, why Comrade? Oh, you came from Russia. Obviously, you have a heritage and there's nothing to hide. And that word, if you think about the meaning of this word, it has a really nice connotation, which is your comrades in arms, or your comrades, you help each other out. You're your best ally. Like you're more than a best friend. And so that's what we've been to our clients, and that was our motto ever since we chose this name for the company.
Yeah, that's very interesting, man. Okay, moving on. Best gift you have ever received?
Two of my kids. I consider that as the best gift.
Lovely. Best compliment you have ever received?
That I've been very energetic, and
This is what inside my head, I was about to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very energetic, and someone told me that I build a company with amazing culture. This was also very, very crucial for me.
Yeah. One thing you like to learn?
Oof. How to operate an airplane. About that.
Favorite movie?
Gladiator.
Yeah. No wonder. That's why you want to go to.
Goes back to my ancient history.
Yeah. Favorite book?
On top of Delivering Happiness that I already mentioned, Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willing. It's an amazing book about extreme ownership. It's an amazing book it's a Jocko Willing. He was one of the leading commanders here in the U.S. And he was a Navy SEAL guy, commander, right? And when he retired from Navy SEAL, started coaching businesses, and he developed this amazing concept called extreme ownership, which basically teaches you that no matter what happens in your life, you are the one that's responsible. No matter what happens in your business, you are ultimately who's responsible. So own up to this responsibility and make sure you act on it.
Yep. That is precisely what is the Leadership 101 says, that we have to own our mistakes.
Yeah, of course. Mistakes and wins too.
Yep. Best way to handle success?
Not talk to people that are acting this way.
And the opposite? Best way to handle failure?
Consistently try. Because if you had a failure, it doesn't mean that you cannot succeed.
Mm-hmm. You are the CEO of Comrade. So what do you think? What is the most underrated skill for a CEO?
Underrated skill. Being able to grow professionally, I think, and adapt in the rapid environment, and being able to handle stress.
Yeah. One thing you wish you knew before starting your business?
It's okay to lose. You just have to look at it from a long-term perspective, and you have to be there, every day for a long-term picture. And just like in any sports, you can't win every single game. You're going to lose some games.
Yeah.
But ultimately, if you train hard, if you do all the right things, if you hire right trainer, if you bring right coaches and right players, eventually you're going to get the championship.
Interesting. One thing you can't live without in your office?
My notepad. I always take notes.
Okay, that's
and always write down ideas.
Yep. Most inspiring business leader today?
I would say Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple.
Yep. I think he will be retired in a couple of years. I don't know who will be succeeding. Maybe the French guy whose name is Frédéric or something like that.
Yeah, but I'm really afraid because I use a lot of Apple products, phone, computers, keyboards, and so on, and I quite rely on Apple products. So I want to make sure their quality is not going to Get downgraded.
Yep. Have you tried a new Vision Pro, by the way?
No, that's one Apple thing that I haven't tried.
Yep. What's the best thing about being your own boss?
Flexibility, 100%. Or in charge of your own schedule.
Yeah. Work-life balance, myth or achievable?
It's definitely achievable. Definitely to each their own, right? Like some people are, super aesthetic when they work all the time, and that's how they get excited and so on. Work and life balance is extremely important for me, for instance. I can't live without it. So definitely, yes, definitely very important.
Yeah. SEO or paid advertising?
SEO,
Facebook ads or Google ads?
Google Ads.
Social media or email marketing?
Mm. I would stick with email marketing.
What's the most exciting trend in digital marketing right now?
Certainly AI. That's one of the most exciting, most interesting trends.
Yep. What's the AI product that you use the most?
Definitely ChatGPT. This is the tool that I personally use quite often. Our team uses various AI tools for their production needs. For me personally, it's been ChatGPT.
Okay. So what is the main use case of ChatGPT?
Structuring data, analyzing data. Sometimes I would have some thoughts, organizing my thoughts better, organizing information in
Brainstorming?
specific way. Let's say, yeah, brainstorming. Yeah, that too. Yeah, sometimes I would have some ideas and
Yeah.
I would lay out my options and then I would ask ChatGPT to add to those options. Maybe I'm missing something for sure. Those are my main use cases.
Yep. Have you subscribed to the pro version of ChatGPT?
The paid version.
Paid version. Have you noticed real difference, the pre and paid one?
Oh, I actually don't know because
Okay.
I ever since it came out, I started paying for it, so I've been using paid for most of.
So you haven't really used the free version. So yeah, that makes sense. Biggest misconception about digital marketing?
That it's easy. I think that would be my answer.
Yep. If you could change one thing about digital marketing industry, what would it be?
I would ask Google not to change their algorithms as often as they do.
Yeah. One piece of advice for someone just starting in digital marketing. One advice you already given, that was the solid one. Apart from that.
Apart from that, besides that, pick a niche. Be hyper focused in a specific vertical or horizontal of marketing. Let's say it could be industry vertical, right? Like for instance, only work with specific, let's say, service companies or product companies. Or it could be only do SEO or only do paid search. Like choose whichever one fits the most, fits the best, and stick with it. Don't go broad.
Yep. Interesting. Should every business be on social media?
Be on social media, I feel yes. Invest heavily in social media? No, it really depends on the business. If you're, let's say, a local service business provider, like an accountant, roofer, lawyer or whatever, I don't think social media is as crucial as if you, let's say, sell a product or sell some, visually appealing service.
Yeah.
For instance, if you're a med spa, then absolutely, social media is your place to shine and show your, case studies, right? I don't know, if you sell accounting, then what are you going to, or if you're a lawyer, then what are you going to talk about on social media? It's just not appealing. No one wants to follow you.
Yep. Best way to reach a younger audience online?
Figure out where they spend time searching for the information for product or service that you're willing to sell. If it's TikTok, be on TikTok. If it's Facebook, be on Facebook. If it's Google, be on Google.
Yep. Most rewarding aspect of working in digital marketing?
It's a service business, and it has the creativity aspect, right? Like we create something, we create campaigns, there's a component of new strategies that we come up with.
Yep.
That would be number one. Number two, that you actually help someone grow their business. And that means that you help them improve their financial stability, You help them put food on their table. You help them send their kids to schools. Like, you truly impact someone's lives.
Yeah, indirectly you fuel others' business.
Yep.
Yeah. And most challenging part of digital
About
marketing.
digital marketing?
Yep.
The fact that it's so, there's such a high competition, and everyone wants to compete for the same price, for the same spot.
Yeah.
And it becomes more and more and more expensive to compete for it.
Yep. So one last question. What's the best piece of advice you have ever received?
Stay your course. Stay focused. Do not unfocus on shiny objects.
Yep.
I think that was crucial advice, because so many times I was thinking, oh, maybe I should start another business. Maybe I should start another service, or integrate another service within our company or whatever. And I've been told over and over and over again, no, do one thing and do it exceptionally well.
Yeah.
Become best, and only then think about diversification.
Yep. That's interesting, man. Thanks for sharing that. And that's the end of the podcast. Any final thought?
I think we already had a lot of ideas and so on about aspects. I just whoever is listening to this podcast, just believe in yourself.
Yep.
Read and learn as much as possible. Be curious about new things, new opportunities, and pick one thing, one lane, and just become really exceptional at it.
Yeah.
That would be my final thought.
Excellent.
Hello, everyone. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to Shree's podcast, The Billion Insights. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please take a moment to rate us 5 stars if you enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you, Ivan. Thank you so much for sharing your insight with us today. Your expertise into the digital marketing landscape have provided us with valuable takeaways to apply in our own journey. And we look forward to seeing the exciting achievement that you will accomplish in the future.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you in our show, man. And to our listener, if you want to know more about Ivan and its digital marketing company, Comrade, all the links can be found in the description. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Billion Insight podcast. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and stay curious. This is Shree, your host, signing out. Peace.
Peace. Thank you for all the amazing questions.